So this is episode 17. Almost up to 20 of these things. Pretty crazy. The topic tonight is winners and losers from the new GHB. Now, obviously, we're making a lot of assumptions here, right? We don't know a whole lot of the new GHB. We've literally been given a new spell, and we know there's a new spell lore. We know that non-unique wizards 9 wounds or less are. I can't even pronounce it. I'm just gonna call them locuses because that's all I got, or locus.
I just call them supercasters. It's
Sure.
a lot easier to remember.
Sure. So that's what we got going on for the new GHB. So a lot of this stuff is assumptions, and obviously this will change and we'll update it as we go, as we learn more. But anyway, what have you been up to, Cameron?
I've been sick, and it's been horrible.
Yes.
But I've spent all of that sick time building Necrons, and
For that
that's
40k
about it.
10th edition goodness.
Yep, because I refuse to go ahead and do anything Age of Sigmar until the next GHB comes out.
Fair. Yeah, and I thought that, this would have been a good show. I think a lot of people are kind of taking the same approach, especially since we just had a GT. I know me and Eric are kind of like, we're going to set AOS aside and just kind of wait for the new GHB, learn some other games, just kind of have a little bit of fun. Because the last GT was a lot of work. So yeah, so that's kind of, I think there's a lot of people that are in the same boat. We're just kind of waiting for the new GHB.
Yep, I want new GHB, I want new points, and then I will decide what I'm doing for LVO.
Yeah, yep. I'm pretty much decided on what I'm doing for LVO. My list may change a little bit, but I know what I'm playing for LVO. So
all squigs go up 40 points.
I'll take it. I will take it, and I will still play Gloomspite Gets.
Darn. Okay.
As far as what I've been up to, so much. I feel like I'm learning a new game every day. I've been furiously working on getting the AOS, the rest of my Gets army finished. So finally got that completely built. Now the painting happens. And then I've been busting on getting my 10-man squad for MCP because Justin has made a monster of me and Erica. We already have our 10-man squads.
You still need to teach me how to play.
Yes, it is a very fun game. I will say this. For someone who rolls poorly, this game is very unforgiving. If you roll real poorly, it can definitely decide how it goes. But I will also say that this game is... MCP is very, very much an objective points game. Like, if you get behind on objective points, it's real hard to catch up. So you have to know that going into it. But so far, I haven't seen, like, huge balance issues. Like, I know there's staples to every army, but, like, they don't seem overpowered, and they can be dealt with. So from that perspective, it's pretty fun.
Nice.
But yeah, so working on that, working on getting all that built, and then lastly is going through the 10th edition rules because Cameron's forcing me to play 10th edition. So
yep.
That's basically what I'm doing. I'm going to take some Thousand Suns, and we'll see what happens. Hey, speaking of which, I'm gonna do Combat Patrol for my first game.
Okay.
I don't know who can play with me from a Combat Patrol perspective, but
because like my unit, I can.
Okay, because my squad's literally like 4 units. That's it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that'll just get me like a good basis of the game because again, I don't know nothing. So
yeah, it's fair enough. I don't blame you.
All right, well, let's get into Smite GT. We've had a couple more sign-ups, so definitely go sign up.
As soon as that GHB's here, I'm going to set it up.
Yes, the packet is out. We just don't know the specifics from the GHB. But the packet is out, so you can kind of go see what the terrain rules are and all of that stuff. Definitely sign up if you can sign up before, if you know you're going. I'd say sign up before July 1st because there'll be a $100 raffle for anyone that signs up early. Obviously, that person has to be at the event. So just keep that in mind. Don't sign up thinking you're going to win and then not show up and then you're not going to So
I'll take it. It'll be my $100.
I'll just keep the money myself. um, so definitely sign up for the Smite GT if you are going. It's fun times. Camaron is your TO, so fun times. You don't have to play against him.
Woo.
All right, moving on. Art of the week, we got Robin Max Levin. I can't remember where he's from. But some fantastic. Who doesn't like a solid Bellacore paint job?
You gotta love those bright colors.
Oh, the wings are just. This guy's got a niche for lighting and lighting control. Like it's fascinating what people can do from a lighting
Flaming
perspective.
Sword's beautiful.
Yes, yeah. I mean, look at the light. Oh, it's just so pretty. Definitely go check him on Reddit. He's got some more stuff on there. Good stuff here. Definitely digging the paint jobs. All right. Okay, so we're just gonna jump right into the order faction. We're doing this as 2 parts because again, it took me way too long to go through everything. So we're just gonna do this as 2 parts. We're gonna go through order and death, and then we're gonna go through chaos and destruction next week. So, and again, obviously keep in mind, we're going off very limited information, but at least we know what the season's going to hold and what
we know the theme of the season.
We know the theme, and we know who's going to benefit and from those mechanics, and that's going to be wizards 9 or less, right?
Yes. And I know one spell. We know one spell, and I think that one spell is big enough to change a lot of things.
It will literally change so many War Scrolls. Going through this, I was like, all these War Scrolls that you would never see, you're going to start seeing them because you're going to get such a benefit out of that Hoarfrost. That being said, there's also a lot of things that you might think would get a benefit from Hoarfrost and might not.
And then, there's some things there's some models and some units that just win 100 times better than most other things.
Yes. So I guess real quick before we get into Cities of Sigmar, I know that's up right now. I guess we'll go through a couple things that we know is going to happen, right? We obviously know wizards, non-unique wizards, 9 wounds or less, are going to benefit from the Locust effect. They're going to get
become supercasters.
Yes, they become supercasters. They're probably going to have some sort of bonuses to the casting or whatnot, I would imagine.
If you go second, you get an additional cast.
Correct. Yep. And then if you don't have any of those, you get an extra command that you can use. So that's a benefit as well. The Hoarfrost ability, and I'll just go read it real quick, just so
I know the Hoarfrost ability exactly. It is an 8 cast spell.
Okay.
You choose someone. I can't remember if it's within 12 inches. I don't know the range of it.
I'm gonna look right now.
But you choose someone, and then you roll a dice. You roll a dice of a D3, and then you choose a hit, wound, or the rend, and it becomes whatever you rolled. So, for example, if I rolled a 1, and I am doing, I don't know, zombies per chain, now, and I put it to hit, instead of a 5 up to hit, they have a 1 up to hit.
Correct.
Or if I roll a 3, I can choose the rend for them to have -3 rend.
Yep. Keep in mind, this could potentially, depending on what you put this on, could make that characteristic worse, right? So you have to be kind of careful what you use this on. But out of the three statistics, or 3 attributes, I guess you could say, you're going to make one of those better, most likely.
Hit, wound, and rend. If you roll a 3, if you're going to rend, you're going to... You choose... Oh yeah, you also choose 1 melee characteristic.
Yes, it's got to be melee. You can't do this in shooting. And it is... it's within 12 inches, not wholly within. So that's also
even better. That's so much better than I thought.
So good.
The biggest thing is that it's an 8 cast.
It is an 8 cast, and we're gonna get into this.
High.
We're gonna get into this because there's a lot of factions that you would think might be good, but it's gonna be a lot harder to get that cast off than a typical, Mystic Shield, right? So So let's start with Cities of Sigmar. Now I went. Now
Oh, there's
obviously,
one more enhancement. I can't remember if it's an artifact or something, but it makes it so that a non-wizard can go ahead and unbind, and if they successfully unbind, they just get an additional unbind. So you have a quote-unquote infinite unbind, as long as you are
yes. Oh,
successful.
that is yes. It's called Null's or hand carved Nullstone icon.
So it's probably an artifact.
Yes. The bear can attempt to unbind one spell or attempt to dispel one in the spell in the enemy hero phase. In the same manner as a wizard, each time the bear is successful at unbinding or dispelling, the bear can attempt to unbind one additional spell. So that.
So it could have a very big effect on things.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start with Cities of Sigmar. Now, again, I'm not a expert on any one particular faction, right? So I did the best I could by going through these scrolls, and artifacts and command traits and figuring out what were winners and losers for each faction, right? So some things I put in here, right, that we can go over, and you probably know this faction better than I do, Cameron.
Yeah, I have a lot of experience with this faction.
Yes. So obviously the Battle Mage is going to be a winner here from the plus to casting. He's also going to be considered that Locus as well, so he's already going to be a winner.
And the Sorceress. The Sorceress is the big one, in my
opinion.
Yep,
Sorceress, where you take, it's D3 damage for a unit or something, or is it just one? Is it just one
you
damage?
just kill one model, and
Yeah.
I think it has to be like Dread Spears or like Black
Okay,
Blades,
sure.
like that.
And then it gets plus casting.
Yep, +2 to cast.
Yeah, real good. Hurricaneum obviously is going to be good for the +1 to casting.
Yep. Give that Battle Mage +1.
Oh, and you know what? I'm gonna make sure I get this out here. So Eternal Guard, I also listed. This is gonna benefit from the Hoarfrost.
Oh yeah, finally give Eternal Guard some rend.
Yep.
Finally give a lot of the Cities of Sigmar rend, because that is one thing that they are lacking.
And they're gonna hit pretty hard. Blackguard or same way. Demigryph Knights, because there's no restriction to what you can put the Hoarfrost on. Yeah, you can put this on heroes, you can put this on monsters, you can put this on whatever you want.
You can put it on mounts.
Yep. Yeah, you just choose a melee weapon. You can only choose one, you can't choose all of them, but you can choose one melee weapon, but it's super good. And then I put Wild Riders.
The biggest thing that this affects is models with a lot of attacks that are usually pretty crappy.
Yep. Wild Riders is a good example. It's, antlers and hoofs, 2 attacks, 4s and 4s, no rent, 1 damage. Well, now you can change that, right? And with the, I guess, have a rend character. So when they charge, they get -2 rend.
-2 rend, 2 damage.
And 2 damage. So now you can make one of those.
I think they have a 4 up to hit.
Yes, 4 up to hit, 4 up to wound. So now you can make one of those. Like if you do the wound and you get like a 2, now you can potentially get that 3s, 2s, -2 rend, 2 damage. Now this really bad unit, which is, geez, how many points is it? 120, so they're pretty pricey still. I think that probably needs to go down, but 100 points, 120 points, now making that unit actually worth seeing the field, right? And I think that's yeah, go ahead.
The biggest thing, especially with City of Sigmar, is that it changes the characteristic of like the to hit. And because City of Sigmar have so many ways to buff the to wound, the to hit, like you can very, very easily just make everything like a 2 up to hit, 2 up to wound.
Yep.
Or whatever one model you have.
Yep.
And then you get rid of the weakness of the rend.
And then also I had so losers for this. I put in Dread Spears, and the reason I put Dread Spears in. What's the reason? So like you would think, so they're still going to be good. Their typical profile is 1 attack, 4s, no rend, 1 damage, right? For 90 points for 10 of them. But the problem with this is you're still getting, on the 6s, you're going to change the rend characteristic to a 1, right? So they're not going to really benefit from this. So these are...
They don't have a lot of attacks.
And they don't have a lot of attacks. You're already changing the rend, and you're getting +1 to hit for having 10 or more models. This is one of those ones where you don't get a lot of benefit for putting Hoarfrost on these guys, right? So And then obviously Cities Sigmar, most of the shooting is obviously not going to benefit from anything.
So I actually think that crossbows are going to get a lot more play.
Ooh, crossbows. Let me check crossbows.
They're 24 inches. They could be 2 shots if you don't move. Then the reason why I say this is because there's people are going to be playing a lot more weaker units. Because it's usually the units that don't have high saves or anything like that that have a crap ton of attacks. It's the go big or go home type of units.
Okay. Okay.
And what crossbows do is that they give a crap ton of attacks, and that they're going to go through those weak mages that are just going to be buffing everybody that everybody's going to be taking. They're going to be able to shoot them. All of like, is your opponent taking all these wild riders and stuff like that have a 5-up save? You're going to be able to shoot them off the field.
That's true. The one thing also to keep in mind here that we don't know is I would imagine that we're going to have some sort of battalion that protects these locusts, but
Oh, it's going to be needed.
yeah, because if not, it's just going to turn into a shooting meta. And we also don't know what's happening with sharpshooters. So if those two still stay consistent with the mechanics, which is most likely needed, right? Then it'll be relatively close to what we're seeing now with GCs. So, so yeah, the other note I had on here was might see some more units that we don't commonly see, right? Might see more units than we are commonly seeing. I can spell.
Not many. Like you might see flagellants, wild riders.
Right.
But
they're
everything
still...
else is kind of already seen.
Right. Well, yeah. The City of Sigmar is so large. We'll see what happens with them. I said essentially because of the plus to casting and the amount of units that can benefit from the Hoarfrost, I made them a winner. I just think they are going to be
City of
definitely a
Sigmar
winner. Yep.
at its current state is such a winner, especially the one that can give pluses to cast.
Yeah.
I forget which one it is, but you just
Is
take
it like
damage
a-
and
is-
everybody gets D6 more plus to cast.
Is it a... Oh wow, is that a sub faction?
Yes, like you can
Oh.
easily get like maybe you can get a sorceress to a +8 to cast.
Okay, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. I need to add that to the winners because that is that's really good.
Like that they are the spell casters and they can hurt.
Right. All right, let's move into the next order faction, Daughters of Khaine. All right, so let's go through these real quick. The winners are going to be the High Gladiatrix with the Sisters and Witch Elves. I think that is going to be,
Okay, so
making something a -3 rend with these guys is going to be real crazy.
there's one problem to this.
Yes.
And I think that the only one that can be a super caster is the Bloodwreck Medusa.
Yes. So hold on. Excuse me, dogs. The wifey's here. Yes. So yes. Hoarfrost is going to be great for these guys. The issue is, and if you look at my losers column, Bloodwreck Medusa is the only one, and she has 0 plus to casting.
Yeah,
So she has to get an 8. Now
they're going to lose so bad in this.
Right. Now, sort of, right? If you ally in something that gets plus to casting, now you're taking this, and now they're not as bad.
The problem is if you get an ally, they can't take lore spells.
But the lore spell is not...
It's an enhancement that's not a generic. Unless it says it's a generic, but what I'm thinking right now is they cannot take enhancements because they are...
Oh, okay. If that's the case, that's going to choose a lot. I guess we'll have to see how they do that.
Yeah, because allies don't get enhancements, if I remember correctly.
I guess, how does that work with the spell lore? I'm curious. I'm going to check the spell lore here and see if that's the case, because that's going to change a lot of my rankings for winners and losers. Can cash them, so it's not great. A Locust can also cast from the lore of Primal Frost instead of picking a spell from the usual selection. I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna have to see how they word that. It's gonna be very interesting. If you can't ally this in, these are absolutely losers because you
Yeah,
just don't get the plus to
so
casting.
bad.
You can't do it with Marathi because she's not a Lucas because she's obviously unique. That's the first problem. So if you can ally them in, they become a little bit better. I think Blood Sisters are going to benefit from this. Shadow Stalkers are going to benefit from the Horrorfrost. But
They have a lot of units that can benefit from it. The problem is that they're never going to benefit from it.
right,
And then you also have to think: are you going to be doing Mind Razor or Horrorfrost? Because
right.
Mind Razor is the same cast. It's an 8, and it's an increased rend and
Damage.
increased damage.
Yeah. Well, you could use both of them, right? You could use both of them. I mean, you have both in your arsenal. Now, again,
That's
really...
fair if you take multiple Medusas,
right.
which they're not horrible.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how much benefit you get from being a Lucas, right? We don't know that much. I am really curious to see if they're
There we
going to
go.
prevent...
An ally cannot choose an enhancement spell.
But is that enhancement spell generic?
If I go onto if I go onto what is this, the AOS thing, their official app, and I ally in a spellcaster, I can't choose to give them a spell. It's only
so they
on
only get Mystic Shield and
Yep.
Arcane Bolt. Okay.
So you cannot ally in someone to give them.
All right, well, we're going to change this on the fly then. This is definitely going to be a loser,
Yep.
for sure.
Daughters of Khaine, major bad.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Well, we're going to fix this on the fly then. That's unfortunate. It's going to be really unfortunate. It's going to be unfortunate for a lot of these. And you know what? Honestly, it's a bummer both ways, right? But all right, so let's go to Fyreslayers.
Some factions are going to be major winners. Some factions are not going to be at all.
So this is another one that I said would be crazy good if they were able to ally in and get the spell lore.
They have no wizards.
Yes, but if they were to ally in, they would be
give Volkites,
fantastic.
so much stuff in.
Magmadross, Hurkguard, and Volkite benefit from Horrorfrost. However, if you can't take an ally, they're real bad.
And with the
bad.
new thing with what is it? Arcane Tome, you can't get the enhancements either.
Right. So these will probably be losers. But honestly, I mean, that might change Fyreslayers' meta quite a bit because they're pretty good right now.
Yeah,
with them losing,
they're going to be able to unbind a lot better.
Especially sure, but now you can shoot off their heroes, their support heroes.
Yeah, you were never able to do that in the first place.
Oh, can you not shoot off their support heroes?
A lot of them have bodyguard roles.
Sure, but I mean, more or less, you can target more of these heroes depending on how far they are away. Like now, they're gonna have to, like, be well aware of where they're at because they're not gonna get.
They're not going to be any. They're not gaining any benefit from the new roles, but they're not really hurt that much by the new roles either.
We'll see. I think they definitely drop from the top a little bit, but we'll see.
Hopefully, I don't like it. Hopefully, I don't like Fyreslayers.
Yeah, Fyreslayers. Sorry, Jay.
Those meaty boys, they have too many thighs.
Yeah. IDK. So definitely a winner here.
Is there Eidolon? Their Eidolon's too many wins, isn't it? Yeah, because
Eidolon. Yeah, Eidolon's too many wins. So they're a winner / loser. Again, I guess you won't. I guess you're not going to be able to ally in things. I really thought that you were going to be able to ally in and take that lore, but if that's not the case, then maybe these guys are a little bit worse. They don't have any additional to casting. Not that I saw. I don't think any of their artifacts or command traits give them additional casting. No, I think one of them gives them a reroll.
What you're going to see a lot is you're going to see the command trait to make it so that you can reroll.
Right. The Masters of Magic. You're going to see a lot of that. Yep.
Yeah.
And if they do that, there's a lot of melee units that definitely benefit from this because the thing with IDK is they have so many buffs to hit and wound in their bubbles that you just give them rend, and these things are going to be scary good. Like, scary good. Now, that being said, you have to actually get the spell off, but Hoarfrost can be devastating with these guys. Like, it is going to be brutal with these guys.
Another thing though is that a lot of them already have rend. Like everything already has a rend of 1.
Okay, but you give me.
Yeah,
Rend
if
2,
you
Rend
roll
3.
that 3, it's one of those things that helps everybody. But
Right.
like it will help them, but it's not that huge.
Even give me a Rend 2 on like a 20 stack of are Reavers the melee ones?
Thralls.
Thralls. Oh
Yeah,
my
those
gosh.
thralls are going to destroy everything. But then again, they already destroyed everything.
I mean, yeah, that is true. But now you just have some more options. Now you definitely will destroy everything. Okay, so I will say that these I'm gonna mark them as
If I had to choose
they're
a
probably a
number
loser.
between 1 and 5, they would be a 3.
They would be a 3. I'm gonna do winner, loser. They're right in the middle.
They're a winner, kinda.
Yeah, they're a winner, kinda. All right, let's move on. Let's go into KO. Obviously, these are losers.
Man, they don't gain literally anything except command points, which they already had a whole bunch of command points.
They're really not gonna gain a whole lot here. Even if you were able to ally in something and still get Horrorfrost off, which you're not gonna be able to anyway. If you could, the only one that's really going to be affected by this is Engine Raiders, because
And
those are your
they
melee.
already have like a -2.
Right. Well, I mean, remember, it's not just about rend. You can still make them a lot more, even more reliable, right? But at the end of the day, KO is going to lose out on this for sure.
Oh, yeah, and even the artifact with the additional unbinds or anything like that, like they're not going to do it because are you going to take that or are you going to take spell in a bottle?
Yeah, you have so many
take spell in a
better command traits and artifacts that you can use for this that you're not going to do that, right? So, yeah, definitely a loser here.
You gain an additional, command point.
Right.
That's what you get this GHB.
I mean, that's unfortunate. They're going to be playing kind of the Giants role. That being said, KO is in a great spot right now, so I'm not.
Yeah, they're already good. So
they're already good. They're not going to be worried about this too much. They can pretty much shoot off any of your stuff anyway. So, Lumineth, clearly a winner, right?
Like, they are a massive winner.
Good.
So good.
If you thought they were good this last season, they're going to be fantastic this season.
They're going to be terrifyingly good.
So many pluses to casting. They've got so many locusts that they can use for this. They really have 0 losers. There's 0 losers in this army.
I don't think you have it on your list, but the winner unit for this entire thing is Dawn Riders.
Okay.
Because what you can do with Dawn Riders and everything is you can give them the rend. And then they can have potentially a lot of attacks. And you can give them up to like a 28-inch movement.
So the movement's really good. How many attacks do they get?
It's based off of what they're attacking.
Oh, add 2 to the attacks. Okay, yeah, these guys would definitely benefit. Yeah, these definitely would benefit. Even if you put it on the dashing hoofs, right? Which are 2 attacks, 4s, no rend. You're still be able to. You could make any of those better, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give you that. Dawn Raiders are definitely in here. I'll throw them on here.
Because Dawn Raiders are just so fast, they're going to be able to hit whatever they want.
Yeah, agreed.
We might be able to see things that aren't techless for once, which that makes me happy.
Yeah, for real.
Well, I can still see everybody using techless.
Techless is still going to be a staple, though. I mean, you're going to see him still quite a bit. Definitely, at the end of the day, this faction will be real scary, depending on what the lores are for this. Depending on what lore they come out with all these locusts.
Because they're going to benefit from all of the locusts.
Every single one of them. And they're going to have enough... They can put enough small heroes in here to benefit from all of them if they want to.
And the biggest thing is they have the once per game instant cast on a 9. So, it's an 8 cast.
And there's
doesn't matter to me.
multiple units that have that, or multiple models that have that, which are going to be good.
All foot heroes have it.
Yep. They're just...
all foot wizard heroes have it.
Super good. Lumineth, still good. Turns out, still good. Seraphon, still good. They're still gonna benefit from
They're,
this.
they're so.
Can I?
It's like, oh no, we're gonna make this the super, the super casters even more super casters, and
Yes.
now they're considered super
Let me
casters.
put a scenario in your head. How about Ark of Sotek? Isn't that scary? Isn't it?
That is actually kind of
Like,
scary.
because they get 20 attacks on 4s, 3s, no rend. Well, we're changing that rend up, baby. We're bumping that.
Oh my gosh.
Do we know if Arc is it an addition or is it? Does it stop? It's not an addition, is it?
No, I think it stops.
I'm gonna look because I just want to know.
But yeah, just the Slaawn Master, all of their wizards except for Croak. And it's just they have so many. They have buffs.
Yep. Slaying Starmaster is great. Now I did say it's a fantastic ally, but rip if we can't use allies to use the Lord,
Doesn't matter.
then he becomes a lot less of an ally to other things, but that's fine. This faction itself...
That just means they buff from it even more.
Right. This faction itself is fantastic. The only one that is a loser from this, which who cares, right, is Croak, right? Because he doesn't get any of the mechanics from this. Yeah, like, for real. Like, who cares?
Just bring 2 other Slaans to get everything.
Yeah. One of the things I did put in here, too, is the Old Blood with the Guard and Warriors is going to benefit from this quite a bit. Like...
Oh, yeah.
They are going to be real scary. Like, I could see List taking 2 Old Bloods with a bunch of guards and warriors and being real scary. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty good. Even Ripperdactyls, like when you think they were bad.
I can't remember. What is their skink riders? How many attacks do those guys have? They already have a rend, but like you can benefit pretty well from that.
Yeah, I mean,
they have so many units that could benefit from this.
Yes, they really, really do. They're gonna be scary. They're gonna be real scary in the next season. It is funny that like Seraphon was so powerful in the previous.
It's only going to get even stronger.
I know it's only gonna get worse. Have your fun, Jared. Have your fun. All right, moving on. Stormcasts. Okay.
They have a lot of casters, but
no plus to casting though. The only one that gives it is Lord Celestant on Stardrake. As far as I know, if I'm missing something, obviously call that out in the comments or wherever. But the only plus casting that I saw was Lord Celestant on Stardrake, and you're already paying a premium on that.
Yeah, like I think Stormcast is one of those ones where it's like you have an advantage, but it's not that big of an advantage.
Now, if you do get the frickin' Horrorfrost off, there are so many things to take advantage of that spell. I mean, I said even like a unit of Gryph-hounds. I know that sounds crazy, but they have so many attacks that if you put this on...
That sounds amazing, actually.
If you put this on a unit of Gryph-hounds... Because I think they come in... I think there's 6 of them, and they have like...
It comes in packs of 6.
And then I think they have 3 attacks each or something stupid. Like, these things could be relatively scary.
They don't have the pack tactics that other factions can do. And like all of them are already 3s, so like you're not benefiting too much.
Like
everything's a rend of 1, so like
you're just talking about in general. You're just talking about in general. Yeah.
Just in general.
Yep.
Like they're already like it'll benefit them, but it won't benefit them
that much. I agree. And again, I'm gonna change these guys to probably more of a loser than a winner, just for the fact that they don't get the plus to casting.
Yeah.
It's going to be very, very hard to cast with this army, so that's unfortunate.
And then you lose all the other spells that you could have done that are really good.
Yep. Agreed. All right. We're going into Sylvaneth. Winner here.
Agree that they're winner, but
not that much.
It's one of the things where it's like they're not that big of a winner.
Smite Revenants with -3 rends, pretty good. So the reason that they're a winner here is because they do get they get the 3d6 casting. Obviously,
they can cast a spell actually pretty easily.
Right.
Because especially the Warsong Revenant is going to be a supercaster.
Like Drycha in melee with 20 attacks, pretty scary.
Yeah,
Pretty
but
scary.
it came to the same thing. They're already at -1 rend. They're already at 3Fs. Like it's a slight buff, but it's not that big of a buff.
I mean, going from -1 rend to -3 rends is a big deal. Big deal.
You also have to say that all the 6s are just going to be mortal wounds instead. So
Right. I mean, yes, like sure, Spite Revenants.
it's more guaranteed damage, but it's
right.
a buff.
But it's still good. Good. I think it's a decent upgrade for Sylvaneth. Definitely better than some of the other Order factions, I think.
Yes, just because
Like,
they can actually get it off.
Definitely better than Stormcast, right? Like,
Yeah.
I would totally rock Spite Revenants, like crazy ton of Spite Revenants with the Horrorfrost. I think that's
Actually, yeah, I think that would be a pretty fun build there. To be able to just get an army of those guys, send them out.
Spite Revenants are so cool. If they didn't die so quickly, they do so much damage when they get into combat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely think overall, winner here. All right, we're going on to the faction or Grand Alliance that you know the best.
All right, because I think that this Grand Alliance actually benefits the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flesh Eater Courts, definitely a winner.
I think this army right here like benefits the most.
It is so good. The like the between Dark Mastery, Dermal Robe, between the, I think one of them is a command trait, one of them is an artifact. Gives you reliable casting in this, and it Crypt Ghouls.
A unit of 9 Crypt Horrors with Ren is probably one of the scariest things I can conceive in this game.
So much damage. Let's go over just so people understand, because I don't know Flesh Eater a whole lot until I.
All right, so here, this is the fully buffed thing that you can do. This requires, well, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 spells to activate.
Okay.
All right, the first one's from the Flesh Eater Dragon. It gives reroll wounds. The next one is from the basic Ghoul King, +1 to attack. Next one is from the Arc Regent, which is plus D3 attack, so maximum of 3.
Sure.
And then we have this new spell, which all the Arc Regent and all that can do, because all the +2 attack are on their scroll. It's not actually a lore, which is, we'll go ahead and say 3 rend. So now we're looking at a 1 combat of 9 models, can do a total of 7 attacks at 4 up to hit, reroll. 3 up to wound, reroll. -3 rend, 2 damage, and if I rolled a 6, then it's 3 damage instead of 2 damage.
And then
also, I get to do this again.
Yeah. Well, and it's also
14
not
attacks each.
It's because it's plus. Is it +1 to hit or reroll hits?
It's reroll hits.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's reroll. It's reroll hits if they're next to an aberrant Ghoul King.
Okay. So
and then
you do
the
all
dragons
attack.
reroll.
Oh no, you couldn't do all out attack. You need to attack twice. But who cares? Like at that point,
you're at 4 up rerolls, 3 up rerolls.
Yeah, you're doing
like you're gonna hit most of everything.
You're gonna kill most of everything. Like that is a scary unit at that point. Oh,
like I don't think much can survive that at all.
Yeah, no, it is. Flesh Eater Courts going up in stonks. We'll see how long we have to wait for their new book, because
and it's not even the Crypt Horrors like it either. Do it against Crypt Ghouls.
Yeah, Crypt Ghouls. That's what I had on here too.
They have a crap ton of attacks.
Yeah.
And they get rerolls to hit and rerolls to wound.
Yes.
-3 rend. Yep. Oh no.
Even if you got -2 rend, like there's so this army lacks rend. Like
that is the weakness of Flesh Eater Courts is they have like almost no rend.
So you give them Horrorfrost with any rend, any sort of rend, and this becomes a scary army. Scary army.
Yeah. Flesh Eater Courts is, I think, the biggest winner, just only because they can add rend.
Yeah. Yep. All right, moving on. Nighthaunt. This is a loser. This is a loser.
Yeah, you think so?
Yes, because there's no ways to get plus to casting in here.
Yeah, the best that they have is what reroll cast.
I think so. I think that's the best they got. But
And
I
that's
mean,
the command trait.
if they can get it off, sure. There's a lot of stuff that benefits from this, but like Harridan's,
Oh
gross,
yeah,
dude.
Harridan's
Gross.
with
Harridan's
the
with
spell.
3 rend is stupid good. But you're just never gonna get this off because they just don't get any plus to casting.
Yeah, and I agree. Yes, that like if they could get it off, they are gross.
Mm-hmm.
However, they're not going to get it off.
I agree. I think that's gonna be hard for them to do it.
So I'll say they benefit, but not much at all.
Yeah. Yep.
Like
Agreed.
all their units can benefit from this. But it's the same camp as Stormcast. They have nothing to plus.
Yep.
All their pluses are like towards their lore specific spell.
Yep.
Which, guess what? This isn't.
Yep. And you also can't use Nagash or anything because you can't be able to do the lore. So like it's just real. They're not gonna benefit from a lot of these locust effects. That is right now, right? We got to see the rest of the lore. I don't know how many spells this lore is getting. If they're getting 6, and a lot of them are low
Because they have a
cast.
lot of small casters.
They do. They do. So they might benefit. We just need to know more information on what the rest of the lore looks like.
When I say a lot of small casters, I mean they have like what, 2? Now that I actually think about it.
Let me see. Do they have 2?
I think it's just
You know what?
Candleman.
Yeah, you know what? They might not have a lot. This might be worse than I thought. So
The other ones are named
Dragonor
characters.
doesn't count because he's unique.
Yeah, they only have 1.
Okay,
Yeah.
bad.
Guardian of Souls.
Bad. All right, moving on. Also, one that doesn't have a lot. OBR. Well, I guess they have.
They have a lot. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, they have 3. They have 3. But literally no plus to cast it.
Yeah, because the only one that gets pluses is Archon.
Dark Acolyte. I think that gives you like rerolls or something. Oh no, it's the can't be unbound, right? First spell that casts can't be unbound. Which sure, yeah, it's okay, but definitely.
Yeah, the only thing they have for them is that they have a lot of casts, but that's about it.
Well, and even if we're talking about Horrorfrost, and I know we're zeroing on Horrorfrost because it's the only thing we know, but they don't really benefit a whole lot from that. Mortek Guard and Harbingers, sure, but most of their stuff is super elite. Yeah, most of their stuff is super elite and not really something that, not something that they particularly need, right?
Yeah, it's one of the ones they don't have any pluses to cast, so it's good but not amazing.
Yeah. Yep. Right. And then for the last of part 1, we have Soulblight Gravelords. So these guys.
Heck yeah, do they buff from this?
Yes. There are so many ways to get plus to casting in this army. Maybe not so many ways, but there's a lot. Legion of Blood is going to give you +1 to casting. Corpse Card is going to give you +1 to casting.
Morbeg's Claw, +2 to casting.
+2 to casting. So there's a lot.
And they have so many chaff units to be able to put this on.
Yes. Skeletons, check. Direwolves, check. Black Knights could even benefit from this.
Zombies with a 2 up to hit.
Yeah, zombies sure, but I think there's better units to use it on. My one that I like a lot is Fellbats.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Fellbats
can actually do a lot of damage.
Yes. They have a lot of attacks, and then they're just going to keep cranking. But as soon as they kill something, they're just going to keep going. So I think Fellbats benefit from this. Graveguard also benefit
Graveguard
from
with
this.
a 2 up to hit is going to be absolutely nasty.
Nothing really. I didn't say any losers.
Be able to cast more. Oh no, be able to get more art, get more command points. Like, they just win.
Yep. This is a fantastic Soulblight. I keep saying it. Soulblight's in a really good spot right now in the meta, and they're only going to get more from this. This new GHB.
But to be fair, they only have 2 non-named casters in their entire book.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a winner for me, dog. It's gonna be a winner for me. All right, and that's it. That's for it for part one. I know this was a short little show. It takes me a pretty long time to get through all of these war scrolls and command traits and everything. So, um, it just takes so much time to get through them. So we'll do the rest of destruction and chaos next week.
And we'll probably have more information too.
Yes, we probably will, which will help me justify the rankings. So for part one recap, I think winners Cities of Sigmar, yes. IDK is going to drop down to losers because they have no allies.
Cities is good. Seraphon is good.
Sylvaneth is good. Lumineth is good.
Sylvaneth is good. Yeah, there's
Flesh
a lot of
Eaters,
winners in the
Soulblight,
order.
Yeah. Some of them that aren't going to because of the fact that you're not going to be ally stuff in. Daughters is going to lose out. Fyreslayers, KO for sure. Stormcast, Nighthaunt, and OBR.
Yeah.
And IDK.
But man, that Flesh Eaters.
Yeah, Flesh Eaters looks real good. We'll see how long it takes. Would you run Flesh Eaters for LVO if they didn't change the book?
If they didn't change the book.
It's definitely worth thinking about. Because they definitely benefit from this.
Maybe. I'd probably still rather play Seraphon, to be honest, though.
You mean Slanesh?
Yeah. No.
That's...
No. Yes, you're right. Slanesh.
I got you. I knew you were going with that. All right. So that is that. Hopefully we get some more clarification on the allies. I do agree with you, Cameron. I think the way it is right now, they're not going to be able to ally in to take that lore, but
because you can't even get generic lores.
Yeah, I know. So we'll see if that changes. For better or worse.
I don't think they should be able to do it.
You don't think so? I was gonna say, do you think they should or should not? I think I don't know. I'm on the fence with allies being able to do it, just for the fact that there are definitely some losers in this. So
there's definitely some losers. But the big thing is you need to figure out is what are you going to ally in to affect with Horrorfrost.
Yeah, that's true. And again, we'll see what other lores, spells they come out with, see how this is going to affect everything. But, all right, so stay tuned for part two. Again, conclusion. What's coming up next? Obviously, part two next week. I think the week after that, I think I'm going to do a updated meta list, kind of what we did a couple weeks, it's been a month and a half, almost 2 months now, where we went through the meta and kind of saw where everything's at the moment. Okay. Just as an end to this GHB to kind of see where everything kind of leveled
where
out.
Everything falls.
Yep. And then because it's going to be good to go back on that later, right? To see. So we'll see if we do that. Then the week after that, I am going on a cruise, so I will not be around.
Ooh.
So no stream that week. That being said, if you guys have any thoughts or if I missed anything, definitely go comment. I'm definitely following the comments. We've gotten a lot of subscribers in the last couple of days, so that's awesome. I definitely definitely appreciate the feedback, and hopefully you guys are liking the content. So definitely like, subscribe, follow, and comment. Other than that, Cameron, you got anything else?
No, I can't wait for the new GHB to come out so I can actually start figuring out what I want to play.
Yep, I am right there with you. I am. It'll be good to have this nice little break, but once we start getting into heavy GT season, LVO season.
It's going to be like 2 weeks of like 40K for me.
Yep.
And then probably right back to Age of Sigmar.
Right back into it. Yep. All right. On that note, I hope everyone has a good night. Thanks for tuning in to the short show, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.